Welcome back to the River Forest on the Cougar Sports Network. I'm CJ Sellner as we get set for game 2 of the day as the first pitch is swung on and popped up. Playable for Uba, and he's able to make an over-the-shoulder catch. Welcome back to River Forest. Hope you got something to relax. 4:35 of the first pitch, 82 degrees at first pitch of game 2. We'll catch up with everything in just a few moments. Zach Litke on the hill for Concordia. 1 out in the Marian half. CUC took game 1 of the doubleheader today, 11-10 in 12 innings. As the first pitch is down low for ball 1. So Litke on the bump for CUC. Your defense across the outfield. It is Donovan, Hickman, and Maynard from left to right. Across your infield, it's Anderson, Uba, Jacob, and Mariotti. Kevin Garcia does the catching as that one hits Meyer. So a 1-out base runner here for Marian. And it will bring up Gates, the right fielder. Gates went 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored and 4 RBIs in game 1. He had a home run.
Right fielder, number 31,
Meet Zach Litke, the right-hander for CUC, is 4-2 with a 6.82 ERA. This is his 9th start of the year. Has thrown 33 innings, allowed 44 hits, 25 earned runs, 18 walks, 29 struck out. Opponents hit .326 against him as that one misses outside for ball 1. Wind still blowing here with the 4:35 first pitch. Setting up the scenario now for both these teams. Marian has officially been eliminated from the postseason contention as the 1-0 misses inside, now 2-0. CUC is still playing for their postseason lives. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of Falcon fans in the YouTube stream today. Because if Marian wins game 2, then CU Dub is the 6th seed for the NAC tournament. If the Cougars win this one, then they are the 6th seed and will play at 10 a.m. on Thursday. That one fouled off, now 2-1. Setting your lineup for the Sabres, it's Landowski, Meyer, Gates 1 through 3, Bornick, Knorr, and Palmquist 4 through 6. Kriska, Bloom, and Raidman round out the lineup for Marian. We'll get them set up defensively, and you'll meet left-handed starter Riley Richard in just a little bit. Right now, it's the top of the first with 1 out. 2-1 the count to Gates. As this one swung on off the handle, dropping quickly, but not quickly enough. Jacob catches it, tried to double up the runner as he was falling away, but was unable to put the throw on the money. 2 outs in the inning. I don't think people realize how good of a play that was by Jacob. It wasn't easy battling the sun, and we saw the sun play a big factor in game 1.
Heading fourth, designated hitter number 7, James Bornick.
James Bornick, the batter now for Marian. Bornick hitting .313 on the season. Coming into today, he was 0 for 5 in game 1. First pitch is swung and popped up into center. Playable for Hickman, who's there to make the catch, and that will do it for Marian in the first. In the inning for the Sabres, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We're through a half inning. Your score, Marian 0, Cougars coming to bat.
After half inning of play, Marian nothing.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us here for Game 2.
Leading out for Concordia, the center fielder, number 9.
It'll be left-hander Riley Richard working against the Cougars here in Game 2. It'll be Hickman, Donovan Maynard 1 through 3, Mariotti, Garcia, Wallace 4 through 6, Uba, Anderson, Jacobs 7 through 9 as that one's chopped foul. 1-1 the count to Hickman, who was 1 for 7 in Game 1 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. He struck out 3 times. 1-1 to Hickman is grounded towards short, fielded on a few hops. Coming up, throw across is in time. Hickman made it interesting. Nor to Meyer, and there's one away. Batter now is Aiden Donovan with 1 out.
The left fielder, number 5, Aiden
Donovan was 4 for 7 in Game 1 with a run scored and an RBI. So we meet the lefty, Riley Richard. He is 0-2 on the year, as that one's in there for a called strike. 0-2 on the year, but has a 4.35 ERA. This is his 4th start. Has worked 10 1/3, as this one's off the end of the bat. Playable over on the left side, and there to make the catch is the third baseman, Palmquist, and there's quickly 2 away. That'll bring up Gary Maynard, the right fielder. But going back to Richard, this is his 4th start of the year, 7th appearance. Has worked 10 1/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 5 earned runs, has 14 walks and 10 Ks. Opponents hitting .214 against him. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. So we'll see how the Cougars attack the left-hander, who's had success this season in getting the ball, being that effectively wild. Count now 1-1. As that one runs inside. 2 balls and a strike to Maynard. Maynard was 3 for 7 in Game 1 with 2 runs scored, as he grounds this one through the left side past a diving Knorr and into left field, and the Cougars have their first base runner of the ballgame. Batter now will be Brody Mariotti, the Cougar first baseman. Mariotti, one of the heroes in that game for CUC. He had the 2-run homer to keep CUC alive in the bottom of the 11th. Then he delivered the walk-off single to left center that gave CUC the 11-10 win. Runner on first for CUC as Mariotti grounds this one to short. They'll go the short way to second, and that will do it for CUC in the first. In the inning for the Cougars, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We're through 1 in Game 2. Your score, Marian 0, Concordia 0. We play on into the top of the second. We lose track of top and bottom at this point after 12-inning marathon to start. It'll be 5-6-7 due up for Marian in the top of the second. Nor to lead off as the first pitch runs inside for ball one. Nor did not appear in game one for Marian. He hits .240 on the season. This is his 28th start, as another one runs a little bit further inside this time, now 2-0. 82 degrees, winds blowing out to left at 20 to 30 at times. It's going to be hard to put one out to right, but we've seen multiple balls leave the yard to left. The 2-0. Swung on and lined into left, and it'll be a leadoff base hit. Second time Marian's had the leadoff runner aboard in as many innings. And it will bring up Riley Palmquist, the third baseman.
Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 24, Riley Palmquist.
Palmquist was 2 for 5 in game one with a run scored and an RBI. Runner on first for Marian. As that one's behind the batter. And a wild pitch will put Knorr in scoring position. Lickey's really struggled losing that ball on the arm side to right-handers. Has already hit a batter in this ball game. That one was behind Palmquist. So now a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Corners in for CUC as this one swung on, line towards second, fielded on a hop. Jacob will throw it over to first. Advancing on the play is Knorr, and there's one away.
Batting seventh, the catcher, number 55, Albert Kiska.
Batter now will be Kiska, the catcher. He did not appear in game one. Kiska hitting .298 on the season for Marian. Runner at third now with one away for the Sabres. First pitch from Litkey is swung on and missed for strike one. So the scenario is this. The Cougars win and they're in. They lose and CU gets to play on their home field on Thursday. Glad everybody could join us here as that one's aligned over the head of Uba into center field, and that's going to score the first run of the ball game. Knorr comes in to score for Kiska. That is RBI number 6 of the season, and it's 1-0 Sabres.
Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 11, Tyler Bloom.
Batter now will be Tyler Bloom, the left fielder. He came on as a defensive replacement for Marian in game one. Was 1 for 2 at the dish. First pitch from Litkey is a breaking ball that had to be blocked by Garcia, 1-0. Sabres leading 1-0 here in River Forest of game two. Ball and no strikes with one away. Kick in the pitch. Swung on off the handle of the bat, but foul down the right field line. Evens the count at 1-1. In total, there were 4 home runs launched in game one. Lewandowski and Gates both had one for Marian. Mariotti and Wallace each had game-tying home runs. Wallace is coming in the bottom of the 9th, and Mariotti's coming in the bottom of the 11th as they check on the runner. And Kiska's back with a dive. Ball and a strike from Litkey. Kick in the pitch. Bunch shown, popped up. He'll field it cleanly, throw to first, and they doubled him off. So a double play ends the inning. Marian does pick up a run on a hit. On 2 hits. And they leave no one. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Your score, Marian 1, Cougars nothing on the Cougar Sports Network. Back in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us here as we play on into the bottom of the second of Game 2. 5-6-7 due up for Concordia. It'll be Kevin Garcia to lead off. Garcia was the DH for CUC in Game 1. He went 1 for 4 in the ball game with a strikeout. As we set for the bottom of the second, first pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Wind and the 1-0 is in there for a called strike, now 1-1. Vinny Sartori picked up the win in Game 1, working an inning, as this one swung and lifted to shallow left. Playable, and there to make the catch is Bloom for the first out of the inning. Next will be the designated hitter, Colton Wallace. Wallace was the hero in the ninth, hit the game-tying blast with 2 outs. He was 1 for 2 in the ball game. He snuck that one just inside the taller fence in left center. 0-1 pitch to him is lined sharply to short, unable to be fielded, and Wallace is going to be aboard. It was sharply hit, and he'll be aboard. So 1 out base runner for Concordia, and it'll bring up Matt Uba, the shortstop.
Batting 7th, the shortstop, number 6, Matt Uba.
First pitch to Uba is swung on and fouled off for strike 1. So Wallace aboard. 0-1 the count to Uba. He was 2 for 4 in Game 1 with 2 walks. Scored a run as well. As that breaking ball is high, runner goes and throws into center field. Nobody was there. So it's a stolen base for Wallace. He had a massive jump, and neither nor or Raidman broke towards second until it was too late. Wasn't that Kiska had a bad throw, but it puts a runner in scoring position here for Concordia with 1 out in the second. Kick the 1-1. Unable to check his swing as Uba went around, now 1-2. Uba on the season, a .243 hitter. This is his 20th start of the year. Kick and the 1-2. Well outside. Count levels at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Long pause by Richard. The pitch. Swan and spoiled foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Uba on the season 1 for 11 against left-handed pitchers. Trying to change that number as that one is off the handle of the bat and foul once again. We'll do it again at 2-2. Wallace at second with 1 away. Kick and the 2-2. High and tight, nearly hit him, and the count runs full, now 3-2 to Uba. Three balls, 2 strikes from Richard. Kick and the payoff. Ran upstairs and he walked him. Uba aboard with the walk, puts runners at first and second, and the batter is Caleb Anderson, the third baseman. Anderson 2 for 4 in Game 1 with 2 runs scored, an RBI and 2 walks. Trying to give CUC the lead here as they got the tying run and go-ahead run aboard in the second. First pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Anderson on the season against left-handed pitching is 5 for 11, hitting .455. So obviously lefties have not bothered him so far this year. Kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball misses high, now 1-1. Seems Richards struggled with the breaking ball a bit over the last hitter or so. We'll see if the Cougar hitters decide to sit on fastballs and take the breakers. Kick in the 1-1. Upstairs, now 2-1. Wallace on second, Uba on first. Kick in the 2-1. This one catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count levels at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out in the Cougar half of the second. On a beautiful day in River Forest on the final home events of this calendar athletic year for Concordia Chicago Athletics. Anderson stays alive there, now 2-2 once again. Only teams left on campus are the Cougar baseball team and then the Cougar track and field team. Simone Wilson, Kayla Armstrong, Sarah Samur, and Maddie Bobinski all still vying for spots at the national meet. As this one's grounded towards second, tough play, throw will go to first for the second out of the inning. 2 outs in the inning now with 2 in scoring position, and it will bring up Christian Jacob, the second baseman.
Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 2, Christian Jacob.
This batter is Jacob. He was the starting pitcher in game 1, did not hit as this one's grounded sharply towards third, fielded on a hop, throw across the diamond on the mark, and that will do it for CUC in the second. In the inning, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the third here in River Forest. Your score, Marian 1, Cougars nothing.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Back in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network along with our fantastic CUSN crew behind the scenes. We play on into the top of the third here in River Forest. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for Marian. Logan Raidman to lead off.
The second baseman, number 36, Logan Raidman.
Raidman was 2 for 5 in game 1 with 2 runs scored. Marian leads 1-0 in an all-important game 2 for Concordia. A win not only would get the Cougars to 500 on the season, it would get them into the NAC playoffs on Thursday morning. Wind in the 1-0. Inside, and Licky hit him. He has struggled all game, losing pitches arm side. And it puts the leadoff runner aboard for Marian in the third.
Center fielder, number 13, Jonah Landowski.
We'll see how long the leash is. Obviously, there's a lot to play for Concordia here today. Jonah Landowski now the center fielder to bat. First pitch is bunted. Third base line. Anderson coming up. Throw is not in time. Trouble brewing here for Concordia in the third. A hit by pitch and a bunt single, and Marian's got something going. Batter now will be Sean Meyer, the first baseman.
First baseman number 22, Sean Meyer.
Meyer was hit by a pitch in his only at-bat of the ball game after going 3 for 6 in game 1. It was a perfectly placed bunt there by Landowski. Anderson, even if he fielded it perfectly, there was just zero chance. As this one swung on and lifted foul, had the distance but hooked it a little bit. 0-1 the count. But it'll be interesting to see how the Coach Colin Connor, along with pitching coach Matt Smith, decide to handle Litke throughout the game and the rest of the staff. Obviously, you're trying to hope to get things set up for the conference tournament on Thursday, but if you don't win this game, none of that matters. Kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, good block by Garcia. Count now 1-1. Ball and a strike from Litke. Kicking in the pitch. Swung on and popped up. Straight back, and it will stay in play. Garcia's there to make the catch in foul territory for the first out of the inning. So a big first out for Concordia. Leaves runners at first and second with one out and brings up Josh Gates, the right fielder.
31, Josh Gates.
Gates is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a flyout. Had a sac fly and a homer in game 1. Right-handed Litke gets ready. Oh, pitch in the dirt, blocked by Garcia for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Runners out first and second. A hit by pitch and a single so far in the inning. Inside move, and Litke takes a look at the runner on second. Kick in the 1-0. In the dirt, wild pitch. Throw down to second will be smothered by Jacob. It was a wild pitch that bounced in. We'll put runners at second and third with one out. 2-0 the count, and Kevin Garcia wants to go have a word with his right-hander. Two and 0 the count on Gates when we resume play. 2 on in scoring position. Marian already leading 1-0. Two and 0 the count on Gates, who is a dangerous hitter for this Marian team. You'd expect to see Wyatt McLaughlin probably in game 2 out of the pen. We'll see what else the Cougars decide to use, as that one's in the dirt now 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Litke in danger of loading the bases here in the third. Wind in the 3-0. Taking all the way, and it's a called strike on the outside corner, now 3-1. Three balls and a strike from Litke. Wind in the 3-1. This one swung on and fouled straight back. Lickey's worked himself back into the count. Now full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Cougars look like they're willing to concede the run. Everybody playing at normal depth across the infield. Wind in the 3-2 from Lickey. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Strikeout for Lickey gives us 2 outs in the inning. Two outs in the inning now, and it'll bring up the designated hitter, James Bornick.
Designated hitter number 7, James Bornick.
Bornick 0 for 1 in the ball game with a flyout. As the Marian dugout just got their first warning of the game. There was someone ejected in game 1. And somebody else just got ejected as well. I'm not quite sure what happened. So one's ejected. I'm not sure if it was Jordan Batinger or his assistant, but somebody was ejected from the ball game. I didn't see anybody leave the Marian dugout. The umpire motioned like there was somebody. First pitch is swung on and fouled, tip from Lickey to Bornick. 0-1 the count. Runners on second and third with 2 away. Kick in the 0-1. Swan and ripped foul. Lickey fell down on the play, on the pitch. Count is 0-2. Lickey a pitch away from escaping trouble here in the third. Wind in the 0-2. Swung on and hit into right center, and that's going to score a pair. Bornick looks to try to take second, and he'll hold up. It's a 2 RBI single, and Marian leads 3-0. So Marian trying to play spoiler here for the Concordia postseason hopes. 2 RBIs for Bornick, and it's 3-0 Sabres in the third.
Shortstop number 1, Robbie Nord.
First pitch is swung on and popped up. Mariotti couldn't find it at first, but it'll drop harmlessly foul just outside the first base foul line for strike 1. Marian with a run in the second, 2 here in the third. Still playing hard despite their postseason hopes coming to a close in game 1. They've put good at-bats together and taken advantage of some miscues from Litkey. No balls and a strike from the right-hander, kicking the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, that's blocked by Garcia, now 1-1. Marian looking for more, leading 3-0 in the third. Kick the 1-1. Misses just off the outside corner, now 2-1. There's some mulling about in the Cougar pen, nobody throwing as of yet. You'd have to think that the leash is not going to be much longer here for Litkey. Again, with as much that's on the line for Concordia, you don't want to fall down much in this ballgame. Granted, you came back from an 8-1 deficit in game 1 to keep your postseason hopes alive, though it's not something that you'd like to make a habit of. 2-2 the count here from Litkey. Kick and the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Runner was off. It gets away from Garcia. Count now runs full with a runner in scoring position. Stolen base for Bornick. Now they're starting to finally get some action. It's Wyatt McLaughlin starting to throw down in the right field bullpen for CUC. Kick the 3-2. Missed up for ball 4. Runners at first and second now for Marian, still with 2 outs, and Coach Colin Connors out to have a word and maybe a pitching change. So Colin Connor having a word. Looks like he's going to keep Litke in this ball game. McLaughlin just started throwing, so this is more of, hey, go right at him here kind of conversation, try to calm him down. You would think this is probably the last hitter for Litke if they can reach. Maybe you bring him out to start the 4th. And Litke's going to come out of this ball game. So Litke out of the ball game. We'll step aside, get you set up with a new arm in just a few moments here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest, Wyatt McLaughlin on in relief for Concordia. He will face Riley Palmquist, the third baseman. 2 on, 2 out. Marian leads 3-0. One and 0 the count here from McLaughlin. Came on in relief for Litke. Kick in the 1-0. Swung on and skied into center. Playable for Hickman. Calling for it and making the catch, and that will do it for Marian in their half of the third. In the inning for the Sabres, they pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We're through 2.5 here in River Forest. Your score, Sabres 3, Cougars nothing. Back in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. We play on into the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order due up for the Cougars, trailing 3-0.
Center fielder, number 19, Eli Hickman.
Hickman is 0 for 1 here in game 2 with a ground out. Shows bunt and pulls back as it's a called strike, 0-1. Cougars with a couple hits in the ball game find themselves trailing 3-0, as that one's a called strike again, and it's quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Hickman, kicking the pitch. Swung on and line to right. Playable, though, for Gates, who moves a few steps towards the foul line and is there to make the catch for out number 1. 1 out in the inning now, then it will bring up Aiden Donovan, the left fielder.
Left fielder, number 5, Aiden Donovan.
Donovan 0 for 1 here in game 2 with a flyout of his own. Oh, pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Cougars looking to get some base runners here, trailing 3-0. They trailed by as many as 7 in game 1 before they were able to come back for the win. As the 1-0 misses upstairs, now 2-0. Final home series of the 2022 season for the Cougars, as that one swung on and missed for strike 1. CUC, as it stands right now, 7-5 here at the Thunderdome. The 2-1. Breaker misses down, now 3-1. Wind in the 3-1 pitch. Called strike at the belt. Donovan thought it was ball 4. Count runs full at 3-2. Kick and the payoff. Missed down and in. And the Cougars have a 1-out base runner. I'll bring up the heart of the Cougar order, and it'll be Gary Maynard now.
Right fielder, number 17, Gary Maynard.
1 out with 1 on in the Cougar half for Maynard. Maynard is 1 for 1 here in game 1 with a single. Excuse me, game 2 with a single. 1-0 the count to him here. Kick, and this one swung on and popped into shallow right. Long run for Gates, and he's going to be there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. So now with 2 outs in the inning, it'll be up to Brody Mariotti, the Cougar first baseman. Donovan still at first with 2 away. Kick and the pitch. Swan and grounded through the left side for a base hit. Donovan to second on the play, and the Cougars have a runner in scoring position now with 2 outs. Batter now will be the catcher, Kevin Garcia. Garcia 0 for 1 here in game 2 with a flyout. Cougars trying to fight back in this one, trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the third. First pitch is way outside for ball 1. Garcia with plenty of pop in that bat. Has 5 home runs and 4 doubles to his credit to go along with 19 RBIs. That's 3rd most on the team this season. Kick in the 1-0. Called strike. Just catches the inside corner at the knees. Count now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Kick and the 1-1. Way outside. Now 2-1. Cougars trying to get a 2-out rally going, cutting into a 3-0 deficit. Kick in the 2-1. Ran inside. Now 3-1 to Garcia. Colton Wallace due up next if Garcia can reach. Three balls and a strike. Richard kicks the pitch. Missed up high, and he walked him. Bases are loaded now for Wallace with 2 away. Bases chocked full of Cougars, and Wallace, who is the hero in Game 1 with the solo homer that tied the game in the bottom of the 9th, will be the batter.
Hitter number 30, Colton Wallace.
He's 1 for 1 here in Game 2 with a stolen base. Oh, a pitch is swung and line to left, but playable. There to make the catch is Bloom for the final out of the inning. In the inning for CUC, they have no runs on a hit, no errors, and 3 left on. We head to the 4th inning here in River Forest. Your score, Marian 3, Concordia nothing.
At the end of 3 in game.
It's the top of the 4th here in River Forest. Wyatt McLaughlin on for his first full inning of work as the first pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. Caught our home plate umpire right in the face mask. It's going to be an 0-1 count. McLaughlin on for CUC has now thrown 6 shutout innings over now his last 3 appearances with 9 strikeouts. So he's been a tough one to hit, to say the least. And that's what the Cougars need right now. They need zeros. See if he can replicate the Cole Carmen outing from Game 1 where Carmen went 9 2/3 and kept the Cougars in the ballgame. 0-1 the count here to Kiska as that one swung on and missed for strike 2. Kiska 1 for 1 with an RBI here in Game 2. Kick in the 0-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. McLaughlin gets his sign from Garcia, kicks in the 0-2. Just missed down. Now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kick and the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him with a pitch down. 1 out in the inning now with the leadoff batter retired. And it'll bring up the number 8 batter, left fielder Tyler Bloom.
Left fielder number 11, Tyler Bloom.
Bloom 0 for 1 here in game 2. Popped a bunt that ended up to be a double play to end the first. 0-0 pitch is a fastball called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. McLaughlin, the sophomore from Cave Creek, Arizona, finally getting some warm weather to pitch in over the last couple outings. As this one swung on and grounded towards Jacob at second, fielded on a few hops, he'll throw it over to Mariotti for out number 2. 2 outs in the Marian half, and that will bring up Raidman, the second baseman.
The second baseman, number 36, Logan Raidman.
Raidman was hit by a pitch and scored back in the third. 2 outs in the Marian half of the fourth. McLaughlin trying to put up a 0. First pitch, fastball misses high for ball 1. Ball and no strikes. Kick in the 1-0. This one, a called strike on the outside corner. Count now 1-1 from McLaughlin. Part of a CUC team that pitches to a 5.37 ERA so far this season. Opponent's hitting .273 as that one misses just down. Now 2-1. Marian came into today's doubleheader hitting .285 as a group. That number probably climbed a point or two with those 15 hits in game 1. Breaking ball spun up high. Count runs to 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kick and the pitch. Missed upstairs, and he walked him. Marian gets a 2-out base runner via the walk, and it'll turn the lineup back to the top in Jonah Landowski.
Center fielder number 13, Jonah Landowski.
Landowski 1 for 2 in the ball game with a run scored and a flyout. McLaughlin with the long look in now gets his sign that he likes and readies. Right-hander kicks. The 0-0 pitch is swung and fouled straight back. 0-1. This is the final game of the 2022 NAC schedule. Postseason play up next beginning on Thursday morning. That game will feature either Concordia, Wisconsin or Concordia, Chicago, depending on the result here in Game 2. They will take on MSOE. The 0-1. Runner goes. Pitch was up. Throw to second is in plenty of time. And that will do it for Marian. Garcia put that one right on the money. And that will do it for Marian in their half of the fourth. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no one left. We're through 3.5. Your score, Marian 3, Concordia 0. Back in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. We play on into the bottom of the fourth. 3-0, the Sabres lead the Cougars. It will be 7-8-9 due up for Concordia. Matt Uba to lead off. As a first pitch misses outside for ball one. Uba walked in his only plate appearance here so far in game two. Cougars chasing 3. As the 1-0 misses down, now 2-0. Richard's been efficient in the ball game thus far. 48 pitches, 29 of those for strikes. Line the 2-0 is outside, now 3-0. Cougars loaded the bases in the third, but were unable to bring one across. See if they can replicate that and then some here in the fourth. 3-0 is down for a ball, and the Cougars have a leadoff base runner. Batter now will be Caleb Anderson, the Cougar third baseman.
Third baseman number 25, Caleb Anderson.
Mac Doherty starting to loosen in the Marian bullpen. First pitch is swung and hits the mound. Fielded, could be 2. They'll go to second. Relay to first is wide and out of play. So it will be a fielder's choice and then an E4. The Cougars will have a runner at second with one away. So with one out now, that will bring up Christian Jacob, the Cougars' second baseman.
Number 2, Christian Jacob.
Jacob 0 for 1 with a ground out here in game 2. First pitch of Jacob is high. No called strike for an 0-1 count. It was a late strike call. I don't know if they called it on the pitch or the swing. Anderson back with a dive as they took a check on him at second. No balls and a strike. Game that just is an hour old. 0-1 to Jacob off the outside corner. Count now 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out. Cougars trying to get on the board here in the fourth. Kick in the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Jacob was late. Count now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Jacob. Kick in the pitch. Swung on and grounded towards second. Fielded on a couple hops. Throw over to first in plenty of time from Raidman. 2 outs in the inning, however, now with Anderson at third. That turns the lineup over back to the top in Eli Hickman.
Center fielder number 19, Eli Hickman.
Hickman 0 for 2 here in game 2 with a ground out and a fly out. Cougars need something to grab a little bit of momentum in this game, as the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. Kick in the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hit through the left side for a base hit, and the Cougars get on the board. Anderson in to score, and the Cougars pull within 3-1.
Left fielder number 5, Aiden Donovan.
So Aiden Donovan is the batter now with 2 away and a runner on first. Runner goes. Donovan swung on and popped into shallow left. Playable there to make the catches bloom for the final out of the inning. in the inning for CUC. A run on a hit. There was one error and one left. New score here after 4 in River Forest. It's Marian 3, Concordia 1. Back in River Forest on the Cougar Sports Network, I'm CJ Sellner. So glad you could join us here all afternoon long. It's going to be the top of the order due up for Marian here in the 5th. It'll be Landowski to lead off against McLaughlin. Cougars got a run back in the bottom of the 4th. Now we'll see if McLaughlin can keep the Sabres off the board for a second straight inning. First pitch is in there for a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Landowski was up in the last inning and gets to bat again because of a runner getting thrown out. He's 1 for 2 here in Game 2, as that one swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes from McLaughlin to Landowski. Kick in the 0-2. Couldn't get him to chase on a pitch off the outside corner. Now 1-2. 3-1, Sabres lead it here in the top of the 5th. Kick in the 1-2. McLaughlin lost it when it came out of the hand. Count now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kick in the pitch. High and tight, nearly hit him. Count runs full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Marian here in the 5th. Kick the 3-2. Swung on and missed. He got him to chase one off the outer half. 1 out in the inning now, and it will bring up Sean Meyer, the first baseman.
The first baseman, number 22, Sean Meyer.
Sean Meyer, the batter now, with 1 out in the Marian half. 0-0 pitch runs inside for ball 1. Meyer is 0 for 1 here in Game 2. He's been hit by a pitch and flown out. Make that now 2-0 as that one misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Kick and the pitch. Missed outside, now 3-0. Three balls, no strikes from McLaughlin. We get a gust of wind here through the press box. 3-0 pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Now 3-1. McLaughlin came into today with a 4.3 ERA. This is his 13th appearance. 13 walks, 19 Ks, as that one's another called strike, and he's worked himself back to a full count. Three balls, two strikes. Kick in the 3-2. Swung on and grounded towards short and past a diving Uba and into center field for a one-out base hit. Meyer aboard now, and that will bring up the right fielder, Josh Gates.
The right fielder, number 31, Josh Gates.
Gates 0 for 2 in the ball game with a strikeout. He bats here with a runner on first and one away. First pitch, fastball, misses upstairs for ball one. No action in the Cougar bullpen as of yet. Kick the 1-0. Swung on and hit to center. Playable for Hickman, who moves a few steps back and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Gates retired and a runner still on first. That will bring up James Bornick, the DH.
Designated hitter, number 7, James Bornick.
Bornick 1 for 2 in the ball game with a stolen base and 2 driven in. McLaughlin trying to put up a second consecutive 0 in relief. This one swung on and missed. Bornick took a big rip and came up empty, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Kick in the 0-1. Swung and he sawed him off. Foul. McLaughlin now ahead 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. McLaughlin gets his sign. Meyer still at first. Kick in the 0-2. Swung on and hit into right. Coming in is Maynard, and he's unable to make the catch as it dropped in front of him. An 0-2 base hit puts a runner in scoring position now with 2 away. So the inning continues, and the batter will be Robbie Knorr, the shortstop.
Shortstop number 1, Robbie Knorr.
Knorr 1 for 1 in game 2 with a walk. Has also scored a run. Oh, pitch is high and away for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, runners on first and second with 2 away. The pitch swung and skied into center field. Long run for Hickman, who's there to make the catch, and that will do it for the Sabres in their half of the 5th. In the inning for Marian, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 5th here in River Forest. Your score, Marian 3, Concordia 1.
Game 2 of our doubleheader. Sabres 3, Cougars 1.
Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us here. It will be the heart of the Cougar order. It will be Maynard, Mariotti, Garcia due up.
Right fielder number 17, Gary Maynard.
Batter is Gary Maynard, the right fielder. Cougars trailing 3-1 here as the first pitch runs inside for ball one. Maynard is 1 for 2 in game 2 as this one swung on and hit down the right field line, dropping quickly, and that's in for a base hit. So a C&I single into shallow right, and the Cougars have the leadoff man aboard in the 5th. Looks like a line drive in the scorer's book. Maynard aboard. Batter is Mariotti, representing the tying run for Concordia in the 5th. Mariotti is 1 for 2 in game 2. He's grounded into a fielder's choice and singled. He had the big blast in game 1, the 2-run shot that got the Cougars into a tie ball game in the bottom of the 11th. 0-0 pitch is down and away for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Kick and the pitch. High and away. Now 2-0 to the Cougar right-hander. Mac Doherty getting loose once again in the bullpen for the Sabres. Kick in the 2-0. Well high, now 3-0. We'll see if Mariotti gets the green light here, 3-0. Check on the runner over at first. Maynard almost got picked off for the second time today. It was a long hold by Richard, the lefty. Maynard took a step the wrong direction and nearly got picked off. Kick to 3-0. Mariotti puts a charge into one to left, back at the wall, and it's gone! Wow. Mariotti ties this game here in the 5th. He now has 11 home runs in the year, and we're tied in River Forest. The senior doesn't want his season to come to an end. 3-3 here in River Forest in the bottom of the 5th. And it'll bring up another big hitter in Kevin Garcia.
Catcher number 21, Kevin Garcia.
First pitch to Garcia, down for ball 1. Just what the doctor ordered for Concordia to get back in that ball game. Now I questioned if he was going to get the green light 3-0. There was our answer there. Garcia has one off the end of the bat into shallow center. Back on it and making the catch is Raidman, the second baseman, for the first out of the inning. With one out now, that brings up Colton Wallace, the Cougar DH. Mariotti with 11 home runs here in his senior season has had a huge impact in the doubleheader today. First pitch is a called strike at the knees on the outside corner, 0-1 to Wallace. Wallace 1 for 2 here in game 2. Kick and the pitch. Bounced in the dirt. Now 1-1. Wind and the 1-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count now 1-2. Cougars answering back. Marian scored the first 3 runs of the game, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. CUC is answered with 1 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. 1-2 to Wallace. Swung on and missed at a breaking ball. 4 out number 2. 2 outs in the inning now, and it'll be up to Uba, the shortstop.
Shortstop number 6, Matt Uba.
Uba has not registered an at-bat here in Game 2. He's walked twice. First pitch misses in for ball 1. Wind and the 1-0 to Uba is inside once again. Now 2-0. Kick in the 2-0. Swan and grounded right side, and that's through for a base hit. Uba with his first hit of the ball game, third time he's been aboard in Game 2, and the Cougars have a 2-out base runner. Batter now is Caleb Anderson. The third baseman is 0 for 2 in Game 2 with a run scored. He's reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. Uba on first with good speed. First pitch, Anderson's in the dirt, bounced in. Uba had a healthy lead, but decided not to go. It was a good pick behind the dish by CUC. Ball and no strikes. Long pause, kick in the 1-0. Catches the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike. 2 outs in the Cougar half. 2 runs in so far. Is this one swung and grounded through the right side, and it's a base hit. Uba running hard. He's going to go first to third on the play, and the Cougars have runners at the corners with 2 away. And now it'll be up to Jacob. But not before we get a pitching change here for Marian. We'll step aside. New arm coming on for the Sabres. You're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest, new arm on for Marian. It is right-hander number 27, Mac Doherty. This is his 11th appearance of the season. He has a 1-1 record. With a 7.11 ERA, he's thrown 12 2/3 innings for the Sabres. Comes on in a situation with runners at the corners and 2 away. First pitch is wide. Uba thought about coming home, and I think that was the right decision to back off. Wild pitch advances Anderson to second. So now it's 2 in scoring position for Concordia. Base hit will give CUC the lead for sure by 1, maybe 2. 1-0 the count to Jacob. Doherty on the season with 5 walks to 7 strikeouts. As this one swung, grounded up the middle for a base hit, making a great diving play, and the play at third is gonna be safe. What a play by Raidman to keep Anderson from scoring. A great diving play. It's what will be considered an infield single. It's an RBI, and runners will still be at the corners, and the Cougars lead 4-3. Batter now is Eli Hickman.
Number 19, Eli Hickman.
Hickman 1 for 3 with an RBI here in game 2. First pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Cougars lead for the first time here in game 2. Looking for more. One and 0 the count to Hickman. Kick in the pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Now 1-1. This gets Litke off the hook for his outing. Those runs get charged to Richard. We'll have his final total depending on what happens with Anderson, as a 1-1 breaker is in there for a called strike. Now 1-2. Opponents hitting .273 against Doherty this season. He faces Hickman now in a 1-2 count. Kick in the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and fouled off. We'll do it again at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to the Cougar center fielder. Kick the 1-2. Breaking ball misses away. Now 2-2. Thought Jacob would be in motion again. It's one of those situations, if you're the Cougars, best case scenario, Jacob steals second on a ball. Worst case, he gets thrown out stealing. He goes on this one, called strike 3 on a breaking ball on the inside corner, and that will do it for Concordia in the inning. But the Cougars are able to pick up a 4-3 lead. Brody Mariotti with the 2-run homer, and Christian Jacob with the RBI single. Gives CUC a 4-3 lead. We'll step aside. Here in River Forest, you're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. It's 6-7-8 due up for Marian. As they continue to work against McLaughlin, who's been just as good as Cole Carmen was in Game 1 in relief. He's thrown 2 1/3 thus far, just 2 hits, no runs with a walk and 2 strikeouts. First pitch is bounced in for ball 1. Final line on Riley Richard for Marian. The left-hander goes 4 2/3, allows 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 4 walks and a strikeout. He threw 77 pitches, 46 of those for strikes. As that one swung on and missed for strike 1. Batter is Palmquist. He is 0 for 2 in game 2 with a flyout and a ground out. Ball and a strike from McLaughlin as that one misses down. Now 2-1. Cougars leading for the first time in game 2. They never led in game 1 until the bottom of the 12th when Brody Mariotti's single gave the Cougars the win. 3-1 the count from McLaughlin. Kicked the 3-1 pitch. Ran inside and he walked him. Leadoff man aboard for Marian here in the 6th. Batter now will be Albert Kiska, the catcher. Kiska 1 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI here in game 2. Leadoff man aboard for Marian in the 6th. Kick in the pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Cougars could use a double play ball here. They've turned just one double play. Actually, I believe there's only been one double play between both teams so far in the doubleheader. As that one ran inside, nearly hit him, and it's 1-1. No outs in the Marian half of the 6th. Cougars lead 4-3. Kick in the 1-1. Swan and fouled straight back. Count now 1-2. Good crowd on hand on a Monday afternoon, enjoying the sunshine and warm weather here in River Forest. Expected to be almost 90 degrees the next couple days with what the Weather Channel labels as oppressive humidity. So just think Florida in Chicago as the pitch misses outside, now 2-2. Four 3, Cougars lead it here in the 6th, 2-2 the count. Kick the 2-2, missed upstairs, and the count runs full at 3-2. First time we've seen McLaughlin struggle with the command. Walked the first batter of the inning, now is in a full count here with the second. Kick the 3-2, swung on and missed. He got him with a pitch off the outside corner for out number 1. Palmquist still at first with one out, and it'll bring up Tyler Bloom, the left fielder. Bloom 0 for 2 here in game 2. Grounded into a double play back in the first. Well, bunted into a double play in the first. First pitch, fastball, misses upstairs for ball 1. Ball and no strikes with one away. Kick in the pitch, swung and fouled straight back at us. 1-1 the count. Kick in the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Runner goes as Garcia couldn't find it. Count now 1-2, and that takes the double play out of order. Palmquist is second on the pass ball. 1-2 the count on Bloom. Kick in the 1-2 pitch. Just missed off the outside corner, and the count evens at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out with a runner in scoring position. Tying run at second for Marian here in the sixth. Kick in the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike three. 2 outs in the inning now, as strikeout is the fourth of the ball game for McLaughlin. 2 outs now, and that brings up Logan Raidman, the second baseman. Palmquist still at second, now with 2 away. Raidman has been walked and hit by a pitch so far in game 2. First pitch is not going to count because time was called. So still no count. There is action down in the Marian bullpen. A left-hander getting loose. Oh, pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Garcia. 1-0. McLaughlin trying to put up his third consecutive 0 on the scoreboard here in River Forest. He came on in relief in the third. There is action down in the CUC bullpen. Looks like Vinny Sartori, who closed out game 1, is starting to get loose. Two balls, no strikes. McLaughlin now at 51 pitches, 26 of those for strikes. Kick the 2-0. In the dirt, gets away from Garcia, and the tying run will advance 90 feet to third. Three balls, no strikes. Tying run at third with 2 away. Kick in the 3-0. Swung on and missed. Raidman had the green light and fouled it straight back. Now 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Kick in the 3-1 from McLaughlin, and he missed outside, and he walked him. That puts runners at the corners now with 2 away, and Coach Colin Connors out to have a word with his right-hander. Sartori's been getting loose in the Cougar pen. We'll see if CUC sticks with them. We'll step aside here, see what happens on the Cougar Sports Network. So McLaughlin will stay in this ball game. It will be Jonah Landowski, the batter now for Marian, with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Landowski is 1 for 3 in the ball game with a strikeout. Tying run at third for Marian here in the top of the 6th. First pitch in there for a called strike from McLaughlin, and it's 0-1. McLaughlin trying to preserve the lead that CUC took in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1 the count. Kick and the pitch inside, nearly hit him. Evens the count at 1-1. One ball, one strike to Landowski. Landowski with 16 RBIs on the season for the Sabres. Trying to add on to that total. Kicked the 1-1. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. Count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Landowski steps in the left-handed batter's box. McLaughlin gets his sign, kicks the 1-2. Missed high and away. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McLaughlin with the long look in, now readies. Kicks the 2-2. Swung on and hit towards short. Tough play, Uba, and he's not going to have one. He was shaded up the middle and had kind of broken towards second base. I'm not quite sure why, but a run comes in to score, and we're tied at 4. That's the pitch you want if you're McLaughlin. I'm not quite sure if Uba thought that ball was going to be hit up the middle. He took like a jab step. So it's a 4-4 game now in River Forest with 2 away. Batter now is Sean Meyer. First pitch from McLaughlin misses up for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Now you're going in to keep this a tie game if you're Concordia. Now 2-0. Sartori's ready in the Cougar pen. This is probably the last hitter of the ball game for McLaughlin. You'd like for him to get the out here if you're a Cougar fan. Give Sartori a fresh inning in the 7th. Kicking the 2-0. Called strike at the belt. Now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Shadows starting to get long here in River Forest. Anything hit to the right side on a line is going to be an adventure. Sun sets down the third base line, so anybody on the right side is looking straight into it. The 2-1. Swung on and popped up into foul ground. Will the wind keep it in play? No, it's out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces wild in a 4-4 game in the top of the 6th. Raidman at second, Landowski at first. Kicking in the 2-2. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand, and the count runs full. The runners will get a head start with a full count and 2 outs. Three balls, 2 strikes. Kick in the 3-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. A big strikeout preserves the tie ball game as we head to the bottom of the sixth here in River Forest. In the inning for the Sabres, they pick up 1 run on a hit. There are no errors and 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the sixth in River Forest. 4-4, your score. Back in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. We play on into the bottom of the sixth. And I'm not quite sure what's going on. We're missing an umpire, actually. So it's a 4-4 game here as we reset. We wait for one of our umpires to get back, who I think we had to make a trip to the restroom. Marian scored the first 3 runs of the ball game, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. CUC answered with 4 unanswered, 1 in the fourth and 3 in the fifth. Marian got a single run back on a hit in an unearned run in the top of the sixth. Gets us to this 4-4 score. Doherty still on to pitch for Marian. We'll see if the Cougars stick with McLaughlin. I have a tendency to think that they won't, and they'll put Sartori out there just because McLaughlin's thrown a lot of pitches. He pitched on Saturday, threw a lot of pitches. Wyatt's gone 3 1/3 thus far, throwing 65 pitches, allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It's unearned with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Cougars win this one, and they will move on to the postseason on Thursday morning. Cougars fall in this one, and then they will allow CU Dub to enter the tournament. So it looks like we're going to play with 1 umpire. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Batter is Aiden Donovan. 2-3-4 due up in this half for Concordia. Donovan is 0 for 2 in game 2 with a walk and 2 flyouts. Oh and 1 the count. Kick in the pitch. Swung on and missed. And it's quickly 0 and 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Doherty kicks the 0-2. Swung on and missed. And Donovan's down on strikes for the first out of the inning. 1 out in the inning, and it will bring up Gary Maynard, the Cougar right fielder.
Right fielder, number 17, Gary Maynard.
Maynard is 2 for 3 here in game 2 with a run scored and a flyout. He bats with nobody on and 1 away. First pitch offering is off the outside corner for ball 1. Wind and the 1-0. Swan and grounded left side. Fielded on a couple hops. Long throw across is dug out by the first baseman, Meyer, and there's quickly 2 away in the Cougar half. 2 outs in the inning now, and it'll bring up Brody Mariotti, the Cougar first baseman.
Number 8, Brody Mariotti.
Mariotti 2 for 3 in the ball game with 2 RBIs. He hit a solo or a 2-run shot in the 5th that gave the Cougars the lead at the time. He bats with nobody on and 2 outs. First pitch ran inside for ball 1. Two outs in the Cougar half of the 6th. 4-4 your score here. So wind whips around once again as 1-0 misses way outside. Now 2-0. It was a 3-0 pitch that Mariotti jumped on. Kick and the 2-0. Down and away. Now 3-0 to the Cougar first baseman. Mariotti had the green light in the 5th. We'll see if he gets the same situation here. Lined in the 3-0. Swung on and popped into right. Playable for Gates. He's there, and he gives way there to make the catch as he falls down as the second baseman, Raidman. He hangs on, and that will do it for the Cougars in the inning. In the 6th, CUC goes out in order. We head to the 7th in River Forest. 4-4, your score.
In game 2 of our doubleheader.
Back here in River Forest once again. New pitcher on for Concordia. It is big right-hander Vincent Sartori on in relief of Wyatt McLaughlin. He will face 3-4-5 for Marian here in the top of the 7th of a tie game. Sartori threw an inning. He threw the top of the 12th for Concordia in Game 1, picking up his 6th win of the year. It was a tidy 6-pitch first inning as that one's fouled straight back, and it's 0-1. He threw 6 pitches, got 2 flyouts and a ground out. He now stands 6-1 on the year. This is his 21st appearance, which is tops for this Concordia team by 7, I believe. has a 4.15 ERA. Opponents hitting .226 against him as that one's in the dirt now 1-1. His job to preserve a tie game. Give the Bats a chance to work for Concordia as they try to play themselves into the NAC postseason. 1-1 is upstairs, now 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Kick and the pitch. High and away, now 3-1. Tying run was unearned that came in to score against the Cougars in the 6th. Pass ball was the difference in the inning. Kick and the 3-1 from Sartori. Swung on and missed. Gates took a big rip and came up empty, now 3-2. Gates 0 for 3 here in Game 2 with a strikeout and a pair of flyouts. Three balls, 2 strikes, kicking the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. They did call it a foul ball. Caught the umpire's hand. So Coach Colin Connor out to have a word with the home plate umpire. He called it a foul ball. So Colin's still talking. It'll stay a full count. I don't think Colin Connor was happy with the decision, but it is what stands. Three balls, 2 strikes. Payoff from Sartori. Swan and spoiled foul once again. We'll do it again at 3-2. Final line on Wyatt McLaughlin. Sophomore went 3 1/3, throwing 65 pitches, 33 of those for strikes, 3 hits, 1 run that was unearned, with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. As that one swung on and missed for strike 1, for out number 1, excuse me. 1 out in the inning now. First strikeout for Sartori. That'll bring out the designated hitter, number 7, James Bornick. Bornick is 2 for 3 here in Game 2 with 2 RBIs. Facing Sartori for the first time as this one skied into center field. Playable for Hickman. Loses it with the wind and it drops. He overran it and it drops in center field. And Marian has the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out. It'll go as a double for Bornick. Now the go-ahead run stands at second base with 1 out.
Shortstop number 1, Robbie Knorr.
An uncharacteristic mistake for Eli Hickman, who's one of the most sure-handed center fielders that you'll find. Batter now is Robbie Knorr, the shortstop. Swung on and grounded towards short. Uba knocks it down. They'll throw to second, and it won't be able to get the tag as the throw was away. An infield single puts runners at first and second now with 1 away. Great job by Uba keeping the ball on the infield, keeping Bornick at second. Batter now will be Riley Palmquist, the third baseman. Big opportunity here for the Sabres in the top of the 7th. Cougars could use a double play ball. Sartori trying to work out of trouble. Long pause for the right-hander, kicks, and that one runs inside, nearly hit him. Ball and no strikes to Palmquist. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game with a run scored and a walk. Cougar pitching staff's done a good job getting ground balls here in game 2. They just seem to always be in that 5-6 hole on the left side as the 1-0 is inside, now 2-0. 2-0 the count from Sartori. And Kevin Garcia wants to go have a word with the right-hander. So he just wants to settle things down. Bornick the go-ahead run, Knorr on first, 1-0 out in the Marian half. Really should be 2 outs in the inning. Hickman overran a ball in center field that the wind grabbed and pushed about 5 feet over his head. 2-0 the count here to Palmquist. Kick in the 2-0. Swan and popped up. Jacob has it playable on a step onto the outfield grass. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 away. So a big second out of the inning with runners at first and second, and it'll bring up the catcher, Albert Kiska.
Catcher number 55, Albert Kiska.
Kiska 1 for 3 in the ball game with a strikeout or a pair of strikeouts and an RBI. Sartori trying to keep this a 4-4 game. First pitch is swung on. Sartori sawed him off, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Sartori with a long look in. Kick the 0-1. Swan fouls straight back once again, and he's ahead 0-2. Kiska with a couple good cuts at it. Has been just off of it. Sartori trying to give the Cougars bats a chance to take the lead and tie game. 0-2 the count here to Kiska. Kick in the 0-2. Just missed the whole infield. Thought it was going to be called strike 3, and it's just off the outside corner. Count now 1-2. Another big pitch coming. Kick in the 1-2. Swan and lifted down the right field line, but it will hook well foul and out of play. Do it again at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Kick in the pitch. Upstairs, couldn't get him to chase. Kiska checked his swing, and it's 2-2. Wind picking up a little bit, a couple gusts. As you can see, it shake the center field camera. 2-2 from Sartori to Kiska. Kick in the 2-2 offering. Swung on and fouled straight back and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes as the sun sets in River Forest in the top of the 7th. Kicking the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hit to shallow left. This could be trouble. And that will drop in front of Donovan for a base hit. Go-ahead run comes in to score in Bornick, and Marian takes a 5-4 lead. Sartori made a good pitch. Donovan playing pretty deep and left, had no play on it at all. Marian now leads 5-4. We'll have a pinch hitter here for Marian. Batting for the left fielder, Bloom, it will be number 28, Nick Sturman, the junior.
Your attention, please. Batting for the left fielder, Bloom, number 28, Nick Sturman.
So Sturman to bat with 2 outs and 2 on. Marian leads by 1. Sturman hitting .250 on the season. This is his 16th game that he's appeared in. Sartori trying to keep this a 1-run game in the 7th. Oh, pitch is down and in for ball 1. No real action in the Cougar pen. If anybody would get moving, you'd think it'd be Mike Tobin that would be next for Concordia. 1-0 the count here. Kick in the pitch, well outside, now 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Marian leads by 1. Kick in the 2-0. Swan and popped up in foul ground. Still going to be playable. Mariotti's there, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. Marian able to bring the go-ahead run across, however. They pick up a run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on. New score after 6.5 here in River Forest. It's Marian 5, Concordia 4. Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner. So glad you could join us here on the Cougar Sports Network as we play on into the bottom of the 7th. 5-4, the Sabres lead the Cougars. There's a new left fielder for Marian. It is number 15, Gus Walker, into the game. Batter will be Kevin Garcia, 5'6", due up for CUC. Chasing 1 after Marian brought a single run across on 3 hits last half inning. Batter is Garcia, who's 0 for 2 in Game 2 with a walk. 1-0 breaker is a called strike. Count now 1-1. There's a left-hander getting ready down in the Marian bullpen. Garcia chops this one foul and out of play. Count now 1-2. Wind and the 1-2 pitch coming. Missed down and away, now 2-2. Garcia, Wallace, Uba due up in this half for CUC. Wind in the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Doherty changed speeds on him there and got Garcia for the first out of the inning. One out in the inning now. That brings up Colton Wallace, the DH. Wallace in game 2 is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. First pitch, breakers, swung on and missed. Doherty's had that pitch going over the last couple of hitters. Cougars have just kind of spun off of it instead of trying to shoot that one to right. Wind in the 0-1. Swung on and off the end of the bat, foul, and it's quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to the Cougar DH. Doherty winds the 0-2. Off the outside corner, couldn't get him to chase, now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Wind in the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Wallace down looking, and there's 2 away in the Cougar half of the 7th. For Doherty, that's his 4th strikeout of the day. And we're going to have a pitching change here for the Sabres. New arm coming on for Marian here with 2 outs in the 7th. We'll step away. You're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back in River Forest. New arm on is the left-hander, number 2, Jacob Tiskowski. Tiskowski is 0-1 on the season. This is his 3rd appearance. As a first pitch misses down and in to Uba. 1-0 the count. He comes in with nobody on and 2 out. Tiskowski has a 2.7 ERA. He's 0-1 on the year. This is his 3rd appearance. Has thrown 6 2/3 as that one misses up, now 2-0. has allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, with 7 strikeouts, 3 doubles, and a homer. Opponent's batting .208 against him as he delivers that one in for a called strike, now 2-1. Cougars trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. As that one misses down and away, now 3-1. Cougars have done damage in game 1 with 2 outs. Trying to get a 2-out base run here, the 3-1. Swung on and grounded towards second, fielded cleanly, and the throw over to first in plenty of time from Raidman, and that will do it for Concordia in the 7th. In the inning, the Cougars go out in order. We're headed to the 8th in River Forest. 5-4, Marian leads it. Back in River Forest once again. Sartori on for his second inning of work. We're in the top of the 8th here in River Forest. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Sabres. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Raidman has still not recorded an at-bat in this ballgame. Has walked twice and been hit by a pitch. Was caught stealing as that one misses inside, now 1-1. Ball and a strike from Sartori. Cougars trail 5-4 in the top of the 8th. They've come from behind on a number of occasions between the double in the double header thus far. Came back to tie things in the 9th of game 1. They then came back to tie things after the Sabres scored 2 in the top of the 11th. As this one swung on and fouled off. Count will remain 1-2. Then here in game 2, Marian scored the first 3 runs to the ball game. Cougars answered with 4 of their own. Then Marian scored the last 2 to take a 5-4 lead. Kicking in the 1-2. Down and low and away. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kick and the pitch. Missed up. Count now full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. There is action down in the Cougar pen. The payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded towards Jacob at second. He'll field it cleanly and flip it to Mariotti, and there's one away. 1 out in the inning. That will turn the lineup back to the top in Jonah Landowski. Landowski is 2 for 4 here in game 2. Has an RBI, a run scored. Has also struck out once. He bats with 1 out and nobody on. Oh, pitch misses down. 1 ball, no strikes. Kick and the pitch. That one called strike on the inside corner. Count now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Kick in the pitch. Swung on and missed. He blew one past him. Now 1-2. Sartori trying to keep this a 1-run game and give the Cougar bats a chance. Kick in the 1-2. Swung and lined into center field, and that will be good for a 1-out single. Landowski aboard for the 3rd time in the ball game. That will bring up the first baseman, Sean Meyer.
First baseman number 22, Sean Meyer.
Meyer is 1 for 3 in game 2. Has been hit by a pitch and struck out. Sartori with the long look in now gets his sign. Oh, breaking balls in the dirt for ball 1. Ball and no strikes with the runner on for Marian, leading 5-4 here in the top of the 8th. Doubleheader that started at 12:30 here in River Forest. Now gone over 6 hours, coming up on 6.5 as that one swung on and fouled out of play. Now 1-1. Couldn't ask for better weather on the final homestand of the year. If you're a CUC fan, if you're a Marian fan that made the trip as well, enjoying the warm weather. Ball and a strike from Sartori. And they'll take a check on the runner at first, and Landowski's back safe with a dive. Falcon fans holding their breaths. They need a Marian victory here to get into the NAC playoffs that start Thursday. 1-1, Swan and fouled straight back and out of play. 1-2 once again. One ball, 2 strikes. Kick in the pitch. Breaking ball just missed off the outside corner. It was close, but it just missed outside. Now 2-2. See if the Sabres want to put Landowski in motion at any point. He leads this team with 10 stolen bases on the year. Kick in the 2-2. Runner goes. Ground ball, perfect hit and run, and it's into right field. Landowski will go to third on the play. And the Sabres are threatening with one away in the 8th. So a single from Meyer puts runners at the corners. Batter now will be Gates, the right fielder. Gates 0 for 4 in game 2. Has struck out twice and flown out twice. Big situation here. Insurance run 90 feet away for the Sabres. Oh, pitch is a called strike at the knees. Gates was 3 for 5 in game 1 with 4 driven in. Has 22 RBIs on the season now. Kick in the 0-1. Missed down and in, now 1-1. One ball, one strike the count. And they'll take a check on Meyer, and he's back safe with a dive. Kick and the 1-1. Swung and fouled off. Sartori now ahead 1-2. One ball, two strikes is a big gust of wind, picks up a bunch of dirt and dust from behind home plate. As that gust continues. Kick in the 1-2. Big breaking ball called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Huge strikeout, now 2 outs in the inning. Second strikeout for Sartori, and it will be up to the designated hitter, number 7, James Bornick. He's been the best stick in game 2 for Marian. He's 3 for 4 with a double and 2 driven in. And Coach Colin Connor wants to go have a word with Sartori. So it'll be Bornick, who's trying to add on any insurance runs for this Marian team. So Colin Connor, just as much as having the word with Sartori, he might have been having that conversation with Garcia behind the dish of exactly what he wanted him to do with the ball if that runner in Meyer decides to go. Cougars will have 8-9-1 due up in their half of the 8th. But right now, it's up to Sartori to try to keep it a 1-run game for CUC. Bornick 3 for 4. First pitch is outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. They'll take a check on the runner over at first, and Meyer's back safe with a dive. Marian out hitting CUC 12-9 in this game. There's been just the one error. Kick in the 1-0. Missed upstairs. Now 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. It is Tobin ready in the Cougar bullpen. Kick in the 2-0. Swung on and served into left. Donovan ranging, and he's there to make the catch. Donovan makes the catch, and that will do it for the Sabres in their half. In the inning for Marian, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th in River Forest. It's Marian 5, Concordia 4. We play on into the bottom of the 8th here in River Forest on the Cougar Sports Network. I'm CJ Sellner. So glad you could join us. It'll be 8-9-1. It'll be Caleb Anderson to lead off.
Third baseman number 25, Caleb Anderson.
Cougars trailing by 1. Anderson is 1 for 3 in game 2. First pitch is a called strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. First full inning of relief as that one misses down and away for Tishkowski. Lefty working quickly off the third base side of the rubber, the 1-1. Down and in. Now 2-1. 2-1 to Anderson. Ran inside. Now 3-1. Tobin was ready for the Cougars in the bullpen last half inning. You have to assume that he's going to come into the ball game in the 9th as the 3-1's in there for a called strike. Now 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, kicking the pitch. Down in the dirt, and the tying runs aboard for Concordia in the 8th. Cougars will have a pinch runner over at first for Anderson. It will be Jaime Sandoval into the contest. Batter will be Christian Jacob. Jacob is 1 for 3 with an RBI in game 2. Has grounded out twice. So the batter is Jacob with the tying run aboard and nobody out for Concordia in the 8th. Shows bunt and bunts it foul in the box. It'll be strike 1. No balls and a strike on Jacob. Top of the order, due up next for CUC. Third baseman Palmquist a few steps onto the grass over at third, and they'll take a check on Sandoval, who's back safe with a dive. 0-1 the count on Jacob. There is a right-hander starting to get loose down in the Marian bullpen. Kick the 0-1. Bunt shown, pulled back as a pitch misses high and away, now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike the count. Kick in the 1-1. Bunt shown, and it's fouled off. Count now 1-2. CUC, a team that doesn't sacrifice bunt a whole lot. Just 4 sacrifice bunts this whole season. Ball and 2 strikes. Kick in the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled straight back. Jacob stays alive. We'll do it again at 1-2. Sandoval at first representing the tying run. Nobody out in the Cougar half of the 8th. Kick in the pitch. Well outside. Now 2-2 to Jacob. Big gap in right center as there's been all day. The pitch swung on and popped up down the right field line. That's in fair ground, and it's going to drop for a hit. Sandoval had to hold, but he's able to advance to second. They weren't able to pick it up fast enough to get a throw, and the tying runs in scoring position with nobody away. That'll bring up the top of the order for CUC. Sandoval at second. Now Jacob is the potential go-ahead run for Concordia. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Hickman showing bunt early, and they'll take a check on Sandoval. Corners are up for Marian. Hickman's got good speed, so it's not a sure thing to get him out at first if he lays down a good bunt. Again, CUC has only 4 sacrifice bunts this season. Kick and the pitch. Bunt towards third. Fielded on a couple hops. They'll look towards the runners. The throw will go to first. A successful sacrifice puts runners at second and third now with one away for CUC. (5-4) on the sack bunt.
Left fielder number 5, Aiden Donovan.
Batter is Aiden Donovan for CUC with one away. Infield's in for the Sabres. Tying run at third. Potential go-ahead run at second. First pitch is down in the dirt for ball 1 as the Cougar faithful start to make some noise. Good speed on the bases for Concordia. Jacob should be able to score on a base hit. Kick the 1-0. Missed upstairs, now 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to count to Donovan. Kick in the 2-0. Down low and away, now 3-0. There is a right-hander getting ready. It's actually double barrel action now down in the Marian pen. Cougars trying to load the bases with one away. The 3-0. Upstairs, and he walked him on 4 pitches. The bases are loaded. And we're going to have a pitching change here for Marian. New arm coming on for the Sabres. Cougars will have the bases loaded with one out here in the bottom of the 8th when we return here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online.
So we're back here in River Forest. They're sticking with the pitcher. Tishkowski still in this ball game for Marian. It's Gary Maynard to the plate. Bases loaded. Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run at second. Infield in. First pitch to Maynard is a called strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Kick the 0-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. Tishkowski now ahead 0-2. You got the right pair of batters coming up if you're Concordia. Maynard and Mariani are 2 of your best hitters and been your leaders of this program. The 0-2. Swung on and hit to left center, and that's going to be down for extra bases. One run is in, a second run is in. Going to third is Donovan on the play, and the Cougars have a lead here in River Forest thanks to Gary Maynard. 6-5. Cougars lead it. And that will bring up Brody Mariotti with one out. The double for Gary Maynard, and the Cougars are now 3 outs away from a postseason appearance once again in Mequon. They're going to pitch to Mariotti here, it looks like. Infield in, runners on second and third with one away. Big insurance runs on the bases for CUC. First pitch to Mariotti is swung on and fouled off down the right field side, and it's 0-1. This has been some old school cardiac Cougars that we've watched here today. You talk about a team that came from behind, a solo home run in the 9th, a 2-run shot in the 11th of Game 1 to keep your postseason hopes alive. Now Gary Maynard erases a 1-run deficit in the bottom of the 8th. Now the Cougars are thinking open this one up. Right man at the plate. Mariotti with 2 home runs in the series today. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Took a big rip and came up empty, and it's 0-2. Maynard on second. Donovan at third with one away. If you're Mariotti, you just want to put something in play and give Donovan, who's a very good and a very aggressive base runner, a chance to score. Kick the 0-2. Swung on and hit to left and deep. Back, track, gone across Division Street. Brody Mariotti does it again. A 3-run shot, and the Cougars lead it 9-5. How can you not be romantic about baseball? Brody Mariotti in his final game here in River Forest. It's a 9-5 lead. And we're going to have a pitching change for Marian. Cougar fans rejoice as CUC takes a 9-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th. We'll step aside here and get you introduced to the new pitcher in just a bit. New arm coming on here in River Forest. 9-5 your score. Back here in River Forest, 9-5 your score. Brody Mariotti gives CUC a 9-5 lead with his 3rd home run of the series. Batter now is Kevin Garcia. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. CUC is 3 outs away from punching their ticket to Mequon. See if they can add on a little bit more. The 1-0 is a called strike. Count now 1-1. New pitcher is number 6, Mason Bone. Has worked 6 1/3 with a 5.68 ERA on the season. This is his 4th appearance of the year. 1-1 inside, and it hit him. Garcia now aboard with 1 out, and it'll bring up Colton Wallace. Correction, we will actually have a pinch hitter for Wallace here. It will be number 27, Carter Gledhill.
Your attention, please. Batting for the designated hitter, Wallace.
So a runner on first with 1 away. It's Carter Gledhill, the batter now. Gledhill hitting .250 on the season. This is his 9th game. Bats with a runner on and one away. First pitch is swung on and lifted into center. Playable for Landowski, who's there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. The batter now with 2 outs will be Matt Uba. The one thing that we when we cut away from the shot, you didn't get to see it at home. I think Brody Mariotti bat flipped his bat no less than 20 feet in the air. I mean, that thing just looked like a boomerang up there as the first pitch is swung on and fouled off for strike 1. (9-5), Cougars lead it. Trying to add on any and all insurance. Garcia at first with 2 away for Uba, as that breaker is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Uba 1 for 2 in game 2. He's walked twice. Kick in the 0-2. Bounced in there, now 1-2. I mean, you couldn't have a better send-off if you're Brody Mariotti. The only way this one gets better if the Cougars can close out the sweep and punch their ticket to Mequon. Kick in the 1-2. Swung on and missed. And that will do it for the Cougars in the 8th. In the inning for CUC, they pick up 5 runs on 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 left on base. 9-5 here in River Forest. Cougars 3 outs away from heading to Mequon on Thursday. Back here in River Forest, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. A couple defensive changes for Concordia in the 9th. Uba to third. Sandoval stays in at short. Your new pitcher is right-hander, number 26, Mike Tobin. Not a save situation, but the right-hander's on for the 15th time this year. Has a 4.91 ERA as a first pitch misses somewhere for ball 1. He will face Nor, Palmquist, and Kizka. One-0 pitch is on the inside corner this time, now 1-1. Cougars 3 outs away from heading to Mequon on Thursday. 1-1. Swung on and missed. A big breaker there from Tobin, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Wind in the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. One out in the inning now, and it will bring up the third baseman, Riley Palmquist. Palmquist 0 for 3 in today's ball game with a walk. First pitch, swinging, softly grounded towards second. Jacob fields it, throws it to Mariotti, and the Cougars are 1 out away from going to MEC 1 on Thursday.
The catcher, number 55, Albert Kiska.
Cougar fans on their feet here at the Thunderdome as the Cougars are 1 out away now. Batter is Kiska. The catcher is 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs in the ballgame. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Wind in the 0-1. Check swing, foul, and it's 0-2. Marian down to their final strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cougars ready to erupt out of the dugout. Wind the 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And the Cougars are headed to MEC 1 on Thursday. Final score, Cougars 9, Sabres 5. CUC improves to 19-19 overall on the season, 12-12 in NACC play. Marian falls to 15-22 on the season, 10-14 in NACC play. Final totals as the Cougars pick up the sweep to head to the postseason. For Marian, 5 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, and 11 left on base. For Concordia, 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors, 10 left on base. Winning pitcher is Sartori, now 7-1. Losing pitcher is Tishkowski, now 0-2. The Cardiac Cougars are back at it. They come away with 2 come-from-behind victories to sweep Marian and punch their ticket to MEC 1. CUC will now get themselves ready to play MSOE in the opening game of the NAC tournament on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Stick around. We'll have head coach Colin Connor coming up following the conclusion of his talk with his team, which is going to be about as joyous as it can come. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stick around. We'll have Coach Colin Connor on the broadcast here at CUCougars.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this result,
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.
MSOE Raiders in that first game. For
Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Selner on the Cougar Sports Network. What a day at the ballpark. it doesn't get much better than what we just experienced here in River Forest. The Cougars come away with a sweep of Marian to punch their ticket to Mequon on Thursday morning. Sartori picks up the win, working the 2 innings of relief. I mean, the bullpen today for Concordia gave up a grand total of 2 earned runs. 2 earned runs over 17 innings for the bullpen today. I mean, it doesn't get any better. We'll look at the batting totals for Game 2, and we have to start with Brody Mariotti, and that's going to be the first thing we talk about when we talk to Coach Colin Connor. Mariotti goes 3 for 5 in Game 2 with 5 runs driven in, hits 2 homers, none bigger than the one that gave the Cougars a 9-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Arguably, I guess you could say the bigger one of the day was the game-tying home run in the 11th of Game 1. I mean, there's been so many highlights that you could talk about for today's game, but he's the one that you got to start with. The pitching was great in relief. Sartori picks up 2 wins, which is not something that you can say you see very often. He improves to 7-1 on the year as the Cougars pick up the sweep. Now 19-19 on the year is Concordia, 12-12 in the NAC. And they get to continue to play baseball that begins on Thursday. Gary Maynard went 3 for 5 for CUC. As we wait for head coach Colin Connor to make his way up here. And it's going to be one of the most fun conversations me and him have gotten to have all year, and I cannot wait to have it. The Cardiac Cougs are back. Winners in both games by scores of 11-10 in 12 innings and 9-5 in 9 innings. As Coach Colin Connor comes up here to join us. And, Coach, I don't even know where to begin with that doubleheader. Where do you want to start?
Oh, man. What a game, buddy. What a game. You know, that's put it together when you need it the most. You know, I mean, it's a silly game.
It's a silly game. We talked about it after Game 1. Let's start with your pitching staff, especially the bullpen. Cole Carmen, 9 2/3 innings in relief. Then you have McLaughlin, Sartori, and Tobin to close it out. The pitching staff gave your offense a chance to get going in Game 1, and they did it again in Game 2.
I mean, you got to start with Cole, like you said. You know, obviously he had a tough year, you know, but his college career is summed up in how well he threw today. You know, when you see a guy that has had that experience in big games, our back is against the wall, and he gave us nothing but the best. And I think the coolest thing is, you know, that's something for the younger guys to learn from. Like, that's what it looks like when it's time to go. So he was as good as it gets, and it was hard to take him out. Like, even after 9 2/3, he's like, hey, if I didn't give up a run, I was going to try to go back out. And I was like, either way, you're done, dude. But, I mean, Vinny's been great for us all year. And you know that those guys are tired at this stretch, but it's win or go home, you know. So he's been great for us. The cool thing about Wyatt is, you know, early he got some opportunities and scuffled a little bit. And then as of late, he's been our next go-to guy, you know, outside of Vinny. And it helps when you have guys that can throw the ball by people, you know, and they've been able to mix. And Wyatt got a chance to get a gritty appearance for us today when he's a little bit tired and a little bit banged up. And, you know, I think the cool thing about the arms over the year is, you know, we haven't exactly made a ton of plays behind them, but they've pitched through some big stuff, which didn't used to be the story for us. So that was really exciting. And then, you know, Mike Tobin hasn't had as many opportunities this year as you'd like because we haven't been in as many saved spots. And, you know, he's a 1-inning guy or a 4-out guy, so it's always good when you can get him out there. The darker it is, the better for him, too, because the slider's such a good pitch. But couldn't be more proud of, you know, the guys and what they've done, and, you know, they deserve it, man. It's a lot of these guys haven't, you know, played playoff baseball and had a chance to win. So I'm just very proud of them when their back was against the wall that they were able to show up and show the world what they were made of.
Let's talk about a couple people that were the saviors in Game 1. You bring in Colton Wallace off the bench and hits a just absolute missile out of here. And then how can we not talk about Brody Mariotti? 3 home runs, none bigger than the 2-run shot in the bottom of the 11th with the backs against the wall. Then to cherry on top, he sends that one across Division Street. I think it still might be flying.
Yeah, I mean, when you have your seniors step up in those spots, especially Brody to break the record, and I think there's no secret that thing was holding him down a little bit. Like he said, he wasn't thinking about it, but ever since he's hit it, he's kind of really got himself going. So that's fun baseball. That's what we live for. And when Colton comes in and hits a pinch hit home run, and Brody hits 3 of them, that gets everybody going. Especially when you're tired after a marathon game. But Brody was awesome today, really, really awesome, and got the boys fired up too. So when you can get that resurgence after a marathon game like Game 1, that's what you need in those spots.
Now you guys are back in the conference tournament after a year hiatus. In 2020, there was no conference tournament. How good does it feel, especially to earn it like you guys did today?
It's the best, man. You guys have had a front row seat the whole time. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that kind of goes into this whole thing, which you guys know, and just to be able to weather the storm, and a lot of different injuries and, things in the background that there's nothing you can do about, but there's something that you can easily use to, make an excuse. And just so proud of the guys, man. They never gave in. They never gave up. Even when, our backs were against the wall, we gave ourselves a chance. So pumped as it gets to get back in there, man. Because now, playoff baseball, it's back to everyone's 0-0.
Correct.
So now it's just, hey, can we play our best baseball in the stretch? So fired up as it gets, even though it doesn't sound like it in my voice.
Well, you've been doing a little bit of yelling today. It hasn't been the most calm day of your life.
It has not, but you know what? Add it to the list, man. Add it to the list. We're back.
Cougs are back. Cardiac Cougs are back. Coach, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. We can't wait to see you in Mequon on Thursday morning.
Thanks for everything, guys.
Cougars sweep the doubleheader here today by scores of 11-10 and 9-5. They'll play in Mequon on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. For everybody at Concordia University Chicago, I'm CJ Sellner signing off for the final time in 2022. Thanks for tuning in all season long. Look at CUCougars.com for more information. Until next time, go Cougs.